Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like 8 o'clock, and I'm here in my red room after some peaceful meditation and contemplation on. Oh, I'm Pearl of Wisdom, and you're listening to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. Anyways, I'm having a little bit of contemplation on the Oilers taking Dave Tippett as their coach. Now, this is not something that has been unknown for a while. This is the first real big move that Holland has done, I suppose, by letting McT go, and uh, a few things like that were some moves, but this is the biggest move they've made so far. And I'm hearing a lot of, I'm hearing backlash from several folk about the Holland signing and the Tippett signing because the idea is they were supposed to get away from old school and the old school way of thinking and so on and so forth like that. Well, I'm here to say that not everything old school is wrong. First of all, I didn't get this with my Holland video, and you can check on the Holland video if you wish. I did one here. Holland had the best player development system in the NHL for the pretty much the whole time he was in charge of the Detroit Red Wings. The only one that can rival him right now probably was the LA Kings, if you can think of, are the LA Kings, because they've brought up so many good players with very low draft picks. Maybe the Tampa Bay Lightning, who was Stevie Eiserman, is the one that built that up. And where did he get that information from, do you think? One of the biggest problems the Oilers have had is player development. Yes. Are they going to bring up players slowly? Yes, they are. Is that an old school way of thinking? Yes, it is. Has it shown to be successful? Yes, it has. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people out there that just because it's old school doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it wrong. Now, bringing in Tippett. Tippett, Dave Tippett brought some Arizona teams to the playoffs that had no business being there at all. Now, do I agree everything with what Tippett did? Probably not, I suppose. But who am I? I'm just Pearl of Wisdom, right? In my basement meditation room. If I was Dave Tippett-esque, I would probably be sitting on a wad of cash coaching in the NHL right now, wouldn't I? But anyways, from what I saw, all I do know is results, and Dave Tippett brought teams, probably, they should have fired Dave Tippett sooner than they did, simply so the team could suck a lot more, and they could have got better draft picks. A lot of the times, a lot of people say that the reason why Dave Tippett did so well was goaltending. Well, Smith is a very good goaltender, but is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Probably not. Um, I think Dave Tippett did a shitload with very little. And what Dave Tippett has got the same philosophy as Holland. This is another thing that people that are not old schoolers or anti-old schoolers don't like to hear. He builds character in a room. He rode Richards like crazy, who, by the way, the other coaches who came past him did the same thing. Richardson in Phoenix. He rode players that played their balls off every day, especially when you're building a team. If you're not playing your balls off for Dave Tippett, he don't give shit how much you're scoring. You got to earn it. And yes, that is an old school way of thinking. And you know what? It seems to be also a successful way to build teams. Look who's winning the cup this year. The Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins, whom traded Tyler Seguin because Seguin wanted to play on the top line before he had earned a damn thing. That's the reason why they traded him, and that is the mentality that they have in their room. By the way, Stevie Eiserman, who did wonderful things in Tampa Bay, same thing. Drouin, where is he? He's in Montreal now, right? For the same reason. What's he doing in Montreal, by the way? A 50-point player? He got Sergachev, who is at 20, is playing 17 minutes a night, probably going to be a number 1-2 for a guy who was whining that he couldn't get top minutes on a very good team and wanted to go to a bad team so he could. Yeah. Do I like Dave Tippett? I'll tell you who Dave Tippett reminds me of. He reminds me of Barry Trotz. Barry Trotz took a lot of shit when he was in Nashville, saying, "What has he done? What has he done?" Well, what he did is he took shitty teams with like Damon Lankow as your first line center. I mean, not Damon Lankow, Legwan. Sorry, not Damon Lankow. Although I think Damon Lankow was there for a while. Legwan as your number one center. And Legwan was a hell of a two-way player, but was he a number one center? No. And he brought teams like that to the playoffs. Everywhere that Trotz goes, goaltenders get better. Now, every time Dave Tippett had a goaltender, the goaltender happened to be good. Send him to Calgary. Now, albeit he's getting older, he was nowhere near the goaltender he was in Arizona. And Smith's numbers in Arizona weren't the most wonderful in the world, but they were pretty damn good considering some of the defenses that they had. And I believe the sign of a best coach is they get the best out of their goaltender. So we're going to see what happens now, where he's going to a team who's had struggled with goaltending, and I'm going to forget his name right now off the top of my head. The goaltender that they signed for $4 million a year for the last 3 years, I believe he's Finnish. Can't believe I can't remember his name right now. But help me out. Put it on the bottom there, boys and girls. Let's see how much better of a goaltender he's going to be under Tippett's tutelage. Is he going to play a defensive system? Maybe. It's hard to say. He played in such bad teams. He had such poor teams offensively, skill-wise, in Arizona. It's really hard to say what he's going to do. In Dallas, he didn't. He played a lot different system. So I imagine he's going to adjust the system to whatever his team is. I think he's going to do fine. I think Holland was actually a good pickup. And if you've looked at my previous videos about the Edmonton Oilers for the last 5 years, I haven't said shit like this. Everybody's been saying I'm some kind of a doomsayer who just always talks shit. No, I call it as I see it. Just so happened I was correct about the poor decisions they were making, the hiring of Chiarelli, and many of the other decisions that they made. Here, I am backing them. If this was Nicholson, who I pretty much have not agreed with anything he's done for the last how many years, I think it was probably more of a Gretzky decision to do what they did. I applaud it. I think that Holland is more progressive than people think, and I think you're going to find out that Tippett is as well. Have a great day, and lots of love to you. By the way, you can hit the bell and the subscribe button and all that, and I'll send you a My NHL Pearls of Wisdom necklace sent directly to your door via helicopter and signed by me.